Welcome, sports fans, to St. Mary's Gymnasium in Medford, Oregon. Thank you for joining us here on TableRockSports.net as we bring you coverage of the season kickoff for the St. Mary's Crusaders volleyball team. Jonathan Kerman here with you. Alongside me is Terry Ross. The man behind the lens is Khalil Campbell, bringing you all of the action here this evening from St. Mary's High School. 6-4, the Lakeview Honkers an early lead, but the Crusaders, a quick response right back, cut the deficit in half. I appreciate you joining us here on TableRockSports.net as we bring you the Lithia Superstore Game of the Week, powered by U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou. Strong strike for Lakeview.
So far, Lakeview has done a good job of passing the ball, setting up the plays, I think, as they're probably designed to do. They currently lead at 7-5, but see if St. Mary's can't get something going. And that one's going to go long. So another point, 8-5 now. Under kind of every time a ball is taken out of play, they wipe it off twice for COVID reasons. So.
Gone over the net, but the low gyms here at the St. Mary's Gymnasium helping out the home team there. Score now 6-8.
And that was set up by a good block. St. Mary's got up and blocked it. I don't know that we always give credit to people that get up and block stuff. It's hard to get up and time a block. I mean, anybody who's played volleyball, even a park, knows that. It's hard to block it and time it exactly right. St. Mary's coming back, though. They're only down by 1. And that goes out of bounds. So
strong response by the Honkers.
It's a 9-7 game as they keep it close here in the first set. Do we have numbers? Yeah, we do have numbers there. That's Stranton that's serving for Lakeview. Good dig.
Honkers able to just send it over. An opportunity for the Crusaders. Soft touch. Recovered by Lakeview. And a diving effort by Emma Johnston of St. Mary's to no avail. The Honkers getting to double digits first.
That was a pretty hard one to rescue. It was going entirely the wrong direction.
Strong serve from Lakeview, a miscommunication by St. Mary's, and an easy point to the Honkers. 11-7, Lakeview on top on the John L. Scott scoreboard.
And there's something else that's hard to do in volleyball, and that's to dig out one of those low line drive serves, which Lakeview just had. Talking about that, St. Mary's isn't digging it out either, as Lakeview is doing a splendid job. Stranton back there just racking up the points. Looks like a timeout.
Timeout called by head coach Katie Miller of the Crusaders. We're going to take a timeout as well. 11-7, Lakeview on the John L. Scott scoreboard. We'll be right back. Welcome back to St. Mary's High School. The Lakeview Honkers on top 12-7 on the John L. Scott scoreboard here in set number 1. Thank you all so much for joining us here on the Lithia Superstore Game of the Week. Lakeview on our screen right in the Rhoden Navies, the St. Mary's Crusaders, and a strong strike.
Well, no, they changed their mind. They marked it in and then said out.
And then said out. Oh, no. Just past the line. Or rather, just on the line. Point awarded to St. Mary's. And a less than textbook dig by the Honkers leads to another point. Score now 9-12 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Back to serve is Abby Christman for St. Mary's. And a beautiful bop by Kelsey Dunn. Crusaders pulling within 2. Soft touch right into no man's land, and the Honkers able to take advantage on that finesse shot. Retake possession and a 3-point lead.
Didn't get a chance to talk to the coaches before the game necessarily, but you wonder how much rust there is. You know, on both sides. It's pretty hard.
Yeah.
But, there's a whistle. They have been obviously practicing, you know, but it's like any time, even if we're doing this in the fall, the first game is
always some rust to shake off, and with all of the extenuating circumstances surrounding this season, certainly understandable for these players. Start working together and
good rescue.
Seeing improvement already. Quick touch at the net, saved by St. Mary's. Ainsley Dunn.
Good block. Couldn't see who that was.
Had it denied, and the persistent play of the Crusaders awards them point and possession. Today's game is brought to you in part by My Circle K, powered by GP Energy. Morning motivation, crunch in your lunch, and fuel for your road trip begins at My Circle K. 11-13 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. St. Mary's Crusaders trailing. Had a nice serve on the back line by Caitlin Hansen.
Yeah, barely out. That was really close.
Serve is up. Opportunity for Lakeview on the response. And another, not sure if that was a miss hit or a designed finesse shot, but it works for the Honkers.
Yeah, Dunn just couldn't quite get there for that block. Just barely over her outstretched hand. So coming in for Lakeview to serve is going to be Sam Sanchez.
The head official saying something to the Lakeview sideline, but now play resumes. On a strong strike at the net, Kelsey Dunn. Another kill for the Crusaders. Ainsley Dunn, the senior, now back to serve. And as per these new regulations and guidelines, the ball having to be wiped down in between each play. Soft touch by the Honkers. Didn't make it over the net.
Yeah.
And a lift.
Yeah, so that was, I guess we got 2 Dunns out there, so we make Ashley Dunn is
Ainsley
Dunn. Mm-hmm. Is now serving, but it's Kelsey Dunn that has been doing the blocking up front.
Mm-hmm. The 2 Dunn sisters getting it done. St. Mary's has tied this game. They were down by as many as 5 earlier. Soft touch, perfectly placed by the Honkers.
Yeah, you see both teams getting it together, though. Now they're starting to pass well and defend. So
Low line drive serve does not clear the net. Once again, tied at 15. The Crusaders with possession. Back to serve, Albi Borovansky. Borovansky up with it. Strong low line drive. Too hot for the Honkers to handle. And St. Mary's with their first lead of the ball game.
Yeah, they've come from what, 3 or 4 back.
They're taking the lead. For those of you new to the sport of volleyball, first to 21 wins it. That bop ruled right on the line. Boy, that was really close, but awarded to the home team. And after confirmation, they're going to give it to Lakeview.
Yeah.
I think an unbiased eye would agree with that call.
Yeah, he overruled the linesman on that one.
So all tied at 16. Set for an exciting finish here in set number 1. Best of 5, so the first team to 3 sets will win it. Lakeview giving up the free point there. St. Mary's will take it. A 1-point lead and the serve. Senior Lucy Palmer back to serve. Lakeview with the response. Strong line drive spike that clips the net. Ainsley Dunn getting the home court bounce.
It's interesting that Lakeview sets up with 3 in the back. 1 off to the side, 1 up front, or 2 up front, and then they go from there.
Soft touch, a terrific dive in the center by Caitlin Hansen of St. Mary's. Another opportunity for Lakeview. Strong spike. And more terrific effort by Hansen, that time to no avail. Their fruitless effort. Score 18-17 on the John L. Scott scoreboard.
So, and there's another one into the net. Like you say, those are freebies. I mean, you know, St. Mary's is going to take that. You don't even have to work for it.
Yeah, and you know, Terry, it doesn't matter what sport, what level, unforced errors will always come back to bite you. St. Mary's 2 points away from taking this first set. There was a serve that may have gone out, too close to call for Lakeview's back line. Had to keep it in play. An opportunity for St. Mary's. I believe that was tipped at the line. It was, and point awarded to St. Mary's.
Yeah, that's good.
So the Crusaders, after being down for the majority of this first set, now in position to take it. Set point here. Strong serve by Emma Johnston. And terrific play at the net. Abby Christman wins it.
No. I think
first to 25.
You have to go to 25.
Apologies
until you get to set 5. So
shaking off the rust for the broadcasters as well as the players. First to 25. St. Mary's pulling away.
That's in.
And that is a perfectly placed serve by Emma Johnston.
That's like an ace in tennis is what that was like. I mean, it's hit right in the corner, and there's no chance. That was a really good serve.
Timeout called by the Honkers. We're going to step away for a quick break as well. Stick around. We'll be right back here on TableRockSports.net. Welcome back to St. Mary's High School. The Crusaders on top of the visiting Honkers, 22-17 here in set number 1. Thank you all so much for joining us here on TableRockSports.net. Back from the break, Lakeview wins a point at the net to finally stop the bleeding. Felt like St. Mary's rattled off 6-7 points in a row there.
Yeah, they had it going there for a minute. There you go.
And won by St. Mary's.
Nice touch that time by, got to get names. Hansen? Caitlin Hansen.
Caitlin Hansen.
Nice touch.
It'll be Abby Christman back to serve. A nice play on a ball that had to be backed up on by Tyler McNeely.
Kept it alive.
McNeely. Back and forth these two teams go. Diving on the floor is Hansen. Saved by Lakeview. Strong spike.
Out.
Too strong. Point awarded to St. Mary's. Now set point for the Crusaders with Christman, the senior, back to serve.
Haven't put it on the scoreboard yet. The scoreboard has a 23-19.
So no, that point was awarded
given to Lakeview.
To Lakeview. Apologies there. And a terrific serve by the Honkers. They get to 20.
Dying try by Borvansky, but couldn't quite catch up with it.
Ashley Struble is back for the Honkers. A weak hit, saved by
too long.
St. Mary's, but yes, too long.
So right when it looked like you're just ready to win this thing, here comes Lakeview back. They won't go away tonight.
Struble back to serve again for Lakeview. Low line drive, touched at the net. Oh. And then just too many bodies in the middle of the court there. And now a timeout called by St. Mary's.
So,
Score on the John L. Scott scoreboard, a tight one here in set number 1. St. Mary's 23, Lakeview 22. Fans, please remember to thank our great sponsors who make this great high school athletic action available for you, including our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore, Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. Jonathan Kerman here with you. Alongside me is Terry Ross, bringing you all the action here from St. Mary's High School. Final few points, we assume, of this first set, Terry. What do both of these teams have to do to lock in this first set win?
Well, it's pretty easy for St. Mary's. Just win a couple of points. You know, I mean, that'll take care of it. But I don't know. Lakeview keeps coming back. They're playing good defense. They keep getting the ball over the net and making St. Mary's respond, which is about the best you could do on most occasions.
Struble to serve for Lakeview. Chance for St. Mary's, and it gets through. Ainsley Dunn the strike to put her team in position to take this first set.
Now we've got set point here.
Caitlin Hansen will do the honors for St. Mary's. Soft touch from Lakeview. Opportunity for St. Mary's to put some pace on it. Met at the net. Out of bounds.
Yeah.
Point set to the Crusaders.
Good spike that time by Dunn to get the win for St. Mary's.
The Crusaders take first set 25-22 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. We'll be back with the second set of action right after this here on TableRockSports.net.
What is education? Is it desks in a line? Is it reading from a textbook? Or should it be something more?
St. Mary's is a really special place, and it's hard to understand that unless you visit, unless you spend time here.
And the kids here are just wonderful.
It makes teaching easy because they want to learn and they're very respectful.
They care about each other, they know how to collaborate and work together, they know how to figure out complex problems.
They respond to enthusiasm and they develop their own enthusiasm, which is something that I feed off as a teacher.
We care for them as a whole, as an individual. It's not just about my subject, we care about all parts of that student.
One of the benefits of our project-based learning program in the middle school is that students are able to take what they're learning and make something really creative and inventive and exciting, and they're also very invested in it because it's real to them.
The students really get involved and get to learn problem solving through a hands-on approach. Through our mod system, they can take an engineering class and see if it's for them, but then maybe realize that they want to do something a little more creative and then take some art classes and find out that architecture might be their thing.
This is education for the 21st century. Our programming is designed to teach people to think outside the box.
This year we have students from 11 different countries, plus all of our American students. So we're an international campus. Students learn from each other. Local students learn from students who come to go to school here. In the classrooms, they really add to what is happening, and that benefits the local students.
A great education is more than just what happens inside the classroom. It's what happens when students learn about competition, about teamwork, about how to win and how to lose. It's about learning how to become who they need to become. I think what's most important about this is that you know that kid sitting in front of you, you see them as an individual, and you understand that you can have an impact on their life and inspire them to find out something about themselves that they didn't know existed, and that they can leave the school and they can go off and do some great things with their lives, whatever that may be. I feel like we're doing something pretty special and spectacular at this place. It's so inspiring, not only for myself, these students, but for everybody who works here, for everybody who comes here. To be part of St. Mary's is something that is truly extraordinary.
Welcome back to St. Mary's High School, the home of the St. Mary's Crusaders. You're watching Crusaders Volleyball live on TableRockSports.net. This is the Lithia Superstore Game of the Week as the Crusaders take on the Lakeview Honkers. You see the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. St. Mary's took set 1, 25-22. Both teams are back up on the court. As there's just a quick discussion happening between the two officials, checking to see everyone who's on the floor. That is number 2, Sam Sanchez, raising her hand.
Yeah, they're just making sure that the numbers are the numbers.
Are the correct numbers.
Yeah.
Let's give you those numbers while we have a moment. First for the visiting Lakeview Honkers, number 20, Fernanda Inzunza. Number 6, Kenna Stratton. Number 12, Bridget Schollenberger. Number 3, Ashley Struble. Number 9, Jayla Jackson. Number 4, Taylor Ewell. Number 2, Sam Sanchez. Number 18, Brianna Struble. And number 10, Tyler McNeely. For the home team, the St. Mary's Crusaders, number 1, Lucy Palmer. Number 2, Sydney Alexander. Number 3, Ainsley Dunn. Number 4, Taylor Woulette. Number 5, Emma Johnston. Number 6, Albie Borovansky. Number 7, Abby Christman. Number 8, Caitlin Hansen. Number 9, Kylie Kinsella. Number 10, Maddie Ward. Number 11, Lily Jensen. Number 12, Kelsey Dunn. Number 13, Kylie Miller. Number 14, Montana Driscoll. And number 15, Noelle Thickett. First points of set number 2 awarded to the Honkers.
Now we talked about giving away freebies. There was a freebie straight into the net.
And set number 1. It was the Honkers who gave away a number of free points, just missed serves and misplayed returns. And that allowed St. Mary's to pull ahead late and eventually take set number 1. And there on the kill for the Crusaders, Kelsey Dunn responds to tie this thing back up at 1. Caitlin Hansen with the serve, a soft serve, and a...
Yeah, time.
There appears to be a positioning violation. Ainsley Dunn and Lucy Palmer were on the wrong sides of each other, according to the head judge. So 2-1 Lakeview. Dunn again sends it back, controlled by the Honkers. And too strong that time. Point awarded to St. Mary's.
Yeah, Lakeview just shot that one out of bounds. Wasn't much St. Mary's had to do. And there's a good serve by Ash and Ainsley Dunn. Good serve that time for St. Mary's, ties it up 2-2. Now they're using a bit of a different formation as Lakeview. Now they got 4 back there. And again, what they're trying to do is they put 4 back. There's a 1 up front, 2 up front. I can't see.
Yeah, looks like.
Actually, put 5 back and 1 up front.
And,
to try and get the set going so they can get it to, well,
to their strikers. Yep. But St. Mary's
hit the floor,
piling it on. Emma Johnston.
What they're trying to do is Lakeview is trying to set it to get it to McNeely up front so that she can spike it. So far, they've driven it into the net. Now St. Mary's has scored 4 straight. That'll end that idea.
Yeah.
All right, Ross, don't talk too much.
The classic commentator's curse. As soon as you say something, the opposite inevitably will happen. Substitution for the Lakeview Honkers. Bridget Schellenberger is back to serve. 5-3 the score. St. Mary's on top on the John L. Scott scoreboard. And there's a serve into the net. Let's make it 6-3 Crusaders. The Medical Eye Center of Medford is helping bring you today's action. They have a wide range of eye care services for the whole family. Visit medicaleyecenter.com to learn how they might help your vision needs. Borovansky the serve for St. Mary's. And the set up, met, looked like a double touch, and indeed it was by the Lakeview Honkers. Crusaders with a 7-3 lead.
St. Mary's is on fire in this second set. I got to quit talking.
Yeah.
That's what I have to do. They just rolled it into the net again. But they had a 2-2 lead, and they've outscored them 5-2 since then.
Absolutely.
Not a 2-2 lead, but a 2-2 tie. And
your point absolutely still stands, Terry. St. Mary's looking a lot more cohesive here in this second set, and I think we should stop talking about how well St. Mary's is playing as Lakeview tacks on yet another point. Score 7-5 in favor of the Crusaders on the John L. Scott scoreboard. McNeely the serve. First touch by Emma Johnston, and she'll send it back over for St. Mary's. Strong strike by Fernanda Inzunza, but controlled by St. Mary's. Pop back over by Emma Johnston, and a strong spike and a kill for Abby Christman. That will end the Lakeview run. Return possession back to St. Mary's, 8-5 the score. Lucy Palmer serving it into the net.
So Lakeview becomes the recipient of those free points, and the Honkers will take them gladly.
Subbing in for St. Mary's, Kylie Kinsella. And back to serve, Jayla Jackson. Low line drive. Both teams still shaking off the rust after a long delay.
She was back clear at the end line for the basketball court. That's what, maybe 10 feet away?
That definitely was deep position for that serve. Misplay on the set by Lakeview. St. Mary's increasing their lead. The score now 10-6. Emma Johnston back for the Crusaders. And a fantastic serve by Johnston. Low sinking line drive right into no man's land.
Yeah, not only are they tough to defend, but they're tough to hit.
Yeah, even if you do
that
get
good.
there. Yep. That serve saved on the back line by Taylor Ewell. An opportunity for St. Mary's to return. Johnston, a miss hit there.
Yeah.
Score now 11-7.
But still, St. Mary's is going on the better streaks at the moment. But I'll tell you, Lakeview got their own streak going at times.
Sam Sanchez into the game for Lakeview. And she's going to get it here. Strong strike, returned. Abby Chrisman wins another point for the Crusaders. Kelsey Dunn back in for St. Mary's. Here's Sanchez. Controlled by St. Mary's. The other way, Ainsley Dunn. Just wide on the near sideline. Point awarded to to Lakeview. No. Was awarded to St. Mary's. My apologies there. So much pace on that ball. Couldn't see quite where it landed.
Just inside the line, not by much.
Not by much. Perfectly placed. Sam Sanchez, the spike attempt, had it returned. Dunn sends it back over. Opportunity for Lakeview again. The soft bop by Sanchez. Sent up high into the air. Lakeview gonna miraculously save it and put it back over.
Off the rafter.
And a terrific point here for both teams.
That was a good rally.
It was a fantastic rally with St. Mary's coming away victorious. Their largest lead of the match, now 7. Sending it over was Kenneth Stratton, and
probably shouldn't open. I probably shouldn't open my mouth.
Yeah.
But
right,
St. Mary's outscored Lakeview 13-5 since that 2-2 tie. So. All right, make it 14-5.
Go.
Yeah, you said not, and it's really not the timeout by Lakeview. So.
We'll step away for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on TableRockSports.net. Welcome back to St. Mary's High School. The Lady Crusaders on top of the Lakeview Honkers, 16-7 here in set number 2. You see St. Mary's took set 1 25-22 in set 1 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Jonathan Kerman here with you. Alongside me is Terry Ross, Khalil Campbell behind the lens. St. Mary's, after coming from behind in set number 1, Terry, and now been really dominant here in set 2. As
there's another one.
it continues, this time Ainsley Dunn.
They have, but as we were talking during the break, it's not because Lakeview is playing that poorly.
No.
I mean, it's really not. It's just that St. Mary's has stepped it up a little bit.
Yeah, St. Mary's not only has limited the unforced errors, but is returning some stronger shots the other way. And highlighted by both Dunn sisters and the lady serving for St. Mary's, Abby Chrisman. They've been doing a lot of the work for these Crusaders. Here's Dunn again, met at the net. And point one, a strong front.
Yeah, getting
set up front.
I got to find the number. I'll get there. Sam Sanchez.
Yeah.
Knock that one back.
That finally stops the bleeding. Now the Honkers back with it. That was Taylor Ewell sending it away. While riding the net, lands on the Crusaders' side. Points to the Honkers. And talking about formations and a true difference of approach, as there's another strong strike by one of the Dunn sisters. That was Ainsley Dunn to win the point for St. Mary's. The depth of the back line for St. Mary's, they were playing about 3/4 of the way back, whereas we've seen the Lakeview Honkers, they've had 4 or 5 back, almost near that back line, in the back fifth almost. And you know, while that's a great way to combat and kind of, it's certainly a lot easier to go forward than it is to go backwards. You're also opening up a lot of space in that middle ground. And St. Mary's has been able to take advantage. There's another one right there.
Yeah.
I think.
And St. Mary's is finding that middle ground consistently.
Yes.
Which is why they're getting these long runs.
Noelle Fickett there on the serve. She'll send it away again. And too strong on the return by the Crusaders. 19-10. St. Mary's still in control here in set number 2. Ashley Struble back to serve.
Yeah, they stand like 10 feet back, and then they come up to the line, which is, no.
Yeah, I think just, not sure it was a delay of game or started a bit too early.
I don't know. I was trying to listen, but
yeah, not
couldn't quite
sure.
pick up what he was saying.
They're just going to replay the point here. And a perfect, just long on that back line. Boy, centimeters away from being a picture-perfect serve. But point awarded to St. Mary's, the 10-point lead. Here's Ainsley Dunn. Ainsley sends it away. Strong return. Sent back over. Lakeview a chance here. Little touch pass placed perfectly. Tyler McNeely. Perfectly placed. Oftentimes it's not, it's great to have both the pace and the location, but perfectly placed ball is going to beat a ball with a lot of pace on it every single time. Certainly a better recipe for success. Schulenberger. Oh, and a terrific diving stop by Borovansky to keep this play alive. Another diving stop by the Crusaders. That time it was Emma Johnston. And now a chance. Here's Johnston to finish it off. And she does! Fantastic point. Hard and well earned by the Crusaders.
Well, that's what we say if you watch that play. It's not that Lakeview is playing poorly. Just that right now, St. Mary's is finding all the spots. But part of the game, of course. But don't think because you look at the scoreboard that Lakeview is playing bad.
Yeah,
They're playing really good. We're getting good rallies.
Absolutely. Borovansky the serve. Lakeview sends it back over. The strong return by Struble. Struble sets it. Stratton able to find a crease.
Yeah, the level of play has jumped considerably on both sides.
Yeah, it did not take long for the rust to be shaken off from these two teams.
No. Poor announcers probably have more rust than they do.
Certainly. I think fans at home would agree. 21-12 on the John L. Scott scoreboard, and a double touch called against St. Mary's.
Yeah. Thought maybe he's going to call her for being on the sideline instead of a double touch. Maybe he had his choice. I don't know. That one goes out of bounds.
Errant serve. St. Mary's will happily take it.
So St. Mary's, what, only 3 points away from a second.
Kylie Kinsella sends it up. Terrific dig by Schellenberger of Lakeview. Schellenberger sets it up again. And wide on the strike was Stratton.
Just out. Just out on that one.
Kylie Kinsella back to serve once again. Low line drive. Point back to Lakeview. Jayla Jackson back for the Lakeview Honkers. Sends it long and a miss hit on the first touch.
Hey.
Lakeview within 8 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. And too long.
Yeah.
A strong strike by Chrisman, but just past the back line. A couple points strung together.
And just like in the first set, Lakeview won't go away. Well, okay, that won't help your cause.
No, certainly not. Now the Honkers will have to play perfect volleyball for the rest of this set. Try to avoid getting in a 2-0 hole. Johnston the serve. Lakeview will just conservatively send it over. A nice dig by Johnston. And Dunn sends it into the net. Point awarded to the Honkers.
So they stay at set point. But they'd say in tennis you have, what, 8 chances here?
Yep, and certainly do. Sam Sanchez checks back in for the Honkers, replacing Schellenberger. Back to service Stratton.
Nope, that's not going to work.
Another double touch called against St. Mary's. Stratton back again to serve. Nice dig by Borovansky, sets up Dunn. The soft touch controlled by Lakeview. Sending it back, Taylor Ewell. Borovansky is there. Here's Ainsley Dunn. On the miss hit.
Airballed it.
Honkers coming back. Caitlin Hansen checking in for the Crusaders. Kenneth Stratton will send it away. A lot of poise being displayed by Stratton. Serving with your team looking against set point. Got to be perfect.
Yeah.
And she's been getting it over. Stratton defending that back line. Here's an opportunity. And
there it is.
A miss hit. That is going to do it. St. Mary's takes set number 2 by a score of 25-19. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on TableRockSports.net.
What is education? Is it desks and a line? Is it reading from a textbook? Or should it be something more?
St. Mary's is a really special place, and it's hard to understand that unless you visit, unless you spend time here.
And the kids here are just wonderful.
It makes teaching easy because they want to learn and they're very respectful.
They care about each other. They know how to collaborate and work together. They know how to figure out complex problems.
They respond to enthusiasm and they develop their own enthusiasm, which is something that I feed off as a teacher.
We care for them as a whole, as an individual. It's not just about my subject. We care about all parts of that student.
One of the benefits of our project-based learning program in the middle school is that students are able to take what they're learning and make something really creative and inventive and exciting, and they're also very invested in it because it's real to them.
The students really get involved and get to learn problem solving through a hands-on approach. Through our mod system, they can take an engineering class and see if it's for them, but then maybe realize that they want to do something a little more creative and then take some art classes and find out that architecture might be their thing.
This is education for the 21st century. Our program is designed to teach people to think outside the box.
This year we have students from 11 different countries, plus all of our American students. So we're an international campus. Students learn from each other. Local students learn from students who come to go to school here. In the classrooms, they really add to what is happening, and that benefits the local students.
A great education is more than just what happens inside the classroom. It's what happens when students learn about competition, about teamwork, about how to win and how to lose. It's about learning how to become who they need to become. I think what's most important about this is that you know that kid sitting in front of you, you see them as an individual, and you understand that you can have an impact on their life and inspire them to find out something about themselves that they didn't know existed, and that they can leave the school and they can go off and do some great things with their lives, whatever that may be. I feel like we're doing something pretty special and spectacular at this place. It's so inspiring, not only for myself, these students, but for everybody who works here, for everybody who comes here. To be part of St. Mary's is something that is truly extraordinary.
Welcome back. You're watching the Lithia Superstore Game of the Week, powered by U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou. St. Mary's Crusaders with a 2-0 lead over the Lakeview Honkers you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me is Terry Ross. Khalil Campbell behind the lens, bringing you all of the action here at St. Mary's High School. Back to serve for the Honkers is Ashley Struble, the freshman. Looking to get her team started off on the right foot, or the right bill if you're a honker. All right, opportunity at the net. Strong play, kept alive. And a hard-fought point.
We've had some really good rallies tonight. I know we keep saying that, but that's impressive for the first game of the season. And both teams keeping that ball alive and passing and setting well.
Struble, a strong line drive serve, handled by St. Mary's. Chance for the Honkers to respond. And it's wide. Point in possession awarded back to St. Mary's. Caitlin Hansen back to serve. A low serve. Point one for St. Mary's.
So last set, for quite a while, it was like a 15-5 run for St. Mary's in the middle. Don't know if they can get off on another run or not. Not that made much difference. Lakeview came back and made it a pretty tight game. Their own little run towards the end of the set.
Well, serve into the net will give possession and the point to the Honkers. Fans, help keep Table Rock Sports in the game by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Search Table Rock Sports at youtube.com and then click on the red subscribe button to help us continue to cover the action. And a strong play at the net. Won by the Honkers. That was Tyler McNeely. Tie this thing up at 3. Thank you to one of our newest subscribers on YouTube, my girlfriend, Bella Morrissey. Appreciate you watching. And another point won by the Honkers, and they take an early lead here in set number 3. Serve dug out by St. Mary's. Emma Johnson sends it over, controlled by Lakeview. The other way, the two-hand touch gets it done for the Honkers. Kenna Stratton there for Lakeview. Schellenberger the serve, and the strong response from Dunn.
Whatever problems Lakeview had serving, they seem to have gotten it sorted out. At first set, they just kept drilling it into the net, but they're not doing that now. They're doing a pretty good job of getting it over. Oh,
fantastic.
There's one of those low line drives that I don't know how you like it. It's almost like an ace in tennis. You aren't getting to it at all.
As Ainsley Dunn been responsible for a lot of those for St. Mary's. Now, of course, it's the risk-reward. You go for the conservative serve, getting it well over the net. There's a terrific dive by Stratton. You go for the conservative serve. It gives the defense an opportunity to really set it and get the ball in a good place. You go for that low-line drive, yeah, you may risk putting it into the net, but you also have the opportunity to get the ace. Strong play back and forth, won by Lakeview.
What do we? Oh, we have substitutions.
Tyler McNeely into the nets.
I don't know. I think I'm a jinx tonight. About the time I say they got it something figured out, they go and do it.
Well, consistency so important and so difficult to find, especially early in a season. And again, with everything that's going on with the requirements of the players wearing masks for the first time, playing competitively, I'm sure, in their entire lives. You know, it's just new, uncharted territory. Somehow, that ball was dug out by St. Mary's Lily Jensen. Boy, that was an incredible dig. Not going to get to that one, though. Perfectly placed spike by Kenna Stratton. And the Honkers retake the lead. Jayla Jackson will be back to serve. Substitution coming on.
Yeah.
For almost 50 years, Bill's Glass has been the clear choice in Southern Oregon for your home, vehicle, or business needs. Locally owned and family run, Bill's Glass supports our schools and communities. When you hear that crash, think Bill's Glass.
So they brought Lakeview brought Brianna Struble in, and she'll be the one doing this serving.
Oh, and she drills her teammate, Fernanda Inzunza, in the back of the noggin.
Seven tie. Neither team's gotten on a run here this set.
Opportunity for the Crusaders. Emma Johnston, strong pace, controlled by Lakeview and sent back over. Another opportunity for the Crusaders. The soft touch.
No.
That's a difficult place to set that ball.
Yeah.
For St. Mary's.
Caitlin Hansen wasn't quite able to get it high enough for anything to be done with it.
Substitution for St. Mary's. Kylie Kinsella back into the game. Kenna Stratton is back for the Honkers. Whistle blows.
That's good.
Double touch.
Oh.
You know, I think we've seen now 3 or 4 double touches called this game, and all of them have gone against the Crusaders.
So Lakeview's on a bit of a run.
Christman. And able to...
Which will end at 2.
Yeah, able to break through that front line, and that time the deflection on the front line by the Lakeview Honkers took enough off of that ball to not allow the back line to be able to make a play on it.
Yeah.
Emma Johnston is back for St. Mary's. There's Dunn, controlled nicely and sent back over by Ewell. Christman just bops it over. Opportunity for Inzunza, and she finds a crease. Fernanda Inzunza, excuse me. A lot of underclassmen on this Honkers team. In fact, just one upperclassman, the senior, Sam Sanchez. Everyone else, a sophomore or a freshman. They've been playing some good volleyball, Terry, and it speaks to a bright future and excellent coaching and player development at Lakeview. There's just a perfectly placed set ball. Caught the Honkers off guard that time.
So St. Mary's can be thankful that in a couple of years they don't play in the same league.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, they're only going to get better. So,
in looking at the rosters, there's a errant serve into the net. Both teams, a lot of underclassmen. For St. Mary's, 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 upperclassmen on a roster of 15.
Yeah.
So a lot of underclassmen for both sides, getting a lot of really great varsity volleyball experience. And it's certainly surprising as there's a strong strike and a kill for St. Mary's Ainsley Dunn. It's a surprise. Now, I'm certainly surprised looking at both of these rosters and seeing all of the underclassmen, all the freshmen and sophomores. These girls are playing like upperclassmen.
And you know they're only going to get stronger, better. So, yeah, both of these clubs, 2-3 years, I don't know that anybody's going to want to really play them.
Certainly a bright future and a bright present for both the Honkers and the Crusaders. Checking in for Lakeview, Bridget Schulenberger. Low sinking serve dug out by the Crusaders on a miss hit. Point awarded to St. Mary's. So excited to be able to bring you the season opener for both of these schools. Their first games yesterday were canceled, and obviously no fans allowed in the stands per state guidelines and regulations. So just so excited here to be able to bring you this fantastic high school volleyball action here on TableRockSports.net, completely free for the viewer. And that's, again, because of our wonderful sponsors, including our title sponsor, Lithia Auto Superstore. Head to lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride.
There's a good serve. We should maybe get in a plug for tomorrow night, as tomorrow night we'll have on this same channel St. Mary's boys soccer. I believe that starts at 4 o'clock out at U.S. Cellular Field. They might want to come back tomorrow night as the boys have their opener. And I understand the South Umpqua game that St. Mary's is supposed to travel to is still on for up there as of tonight.
Yeah, so many scheduling changes. We've seen that in every level of athletics, from high school all the way up into the pros. Just a lot of schedule changes, a lot of last-minute postponements and reschedulings and cancellations. And don't worry, we here at Table Rock Sports are on top of all of it for you. We're going to do our best to bring you every single second of action across the entire state of Oregon and across all sports, volleyball, football, soccer. There is a picture-perfect rainbow serve.
Well, actually a 14-14 tie.
Oh, my apologies. Thank you, Terry, for keeping us honest. Tyler McNeely, the serve. Sent back over by Emma Johnston. Up with it, Kenneth Stratton, dug up by Borovansky. Montana Driscoll sends it over for St. Mary's. No, terrific play at the nets, but that's going to be a third touch. It is.
Yeah.
Terrific play by both teams there. Some excellent rallies.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're seeing some good rallies.
And Terry, they're not just set, send over on an arch, set, send over on an arch. There's a lot of pace. There's a lot of low line drives and sharp angles on these balls. Terrific defense that were being displayed from both teams.
And we're seeing a lot of good defensive plays, a lot of digs, a lot of blocks. I mean, we're seeing all of it here tonight. Just surprising in a first game.
Absolutely. Borovansky the serve. There to save it was Nzunza. And too strong on the spike by Lakeview. St. Mary's, after being down early in this third set, opened up a 3-point lead. Borovansky the serve. Another low line drive. Tough into the net. And I believe perhaps a lane violation, a net violation.
So, yeah, net violation. Somebody must have touched the net. For St. Mary's, so yeah, Lakeview gets it back. Boy, that hurts late in a set like that. I mean, I know they're not trying to do that, but it just hurts when it's drilled in this late in this set.
Yeah, and it's tough because if you go with that conservative serve, you're giving such an advantage to your opponent, but giving yourself a chance to win the set out of that, is certainly, as there's a strong strike by the Honkers.
But give Lakeview credit, they recovered.
They certainly did.
They have the serve back, so kudos to them.
Sam Sanchez back in for Lakeview. Kenneth Stratton back to serve. Checking in is Kylie Kinsella for St. Mary's, replacing Lucy Palmer. 18-16 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Borovansky digs it out. Christman sends it over. The other way, Sanchez. And it stopped. Christman, a lot of pace on that. It was touched. Point should be
Lakeview. Went out.
All right. I must have blinked at the wrong moment. Point awarded to Lakeview.
Wasn't that far long, but long enough.
Christman, the soft touch to send it over. Getting into the pressure point of this game, a strong spike by Nzunza, dug out. Sanchez sends it over. St. Mary's a chance to respond. Johnston's dig. Successful, a strong spike from Johnston.
Emma Johnston, that time just spiking it over the net.
She is back to serve. Now the Honkers going with a 3-3. 3 right at the net, 3 right near the back line. And the first to 20 here in set number 3 is the Crusaders.
Timeout.
Timeout on the floor. We're going to take one as well. There's the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Table Rock Sports. welcome back to St. Mary's Gymnasium. There's the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. St. Mary's with a 2-0 lead in the best of 5 and leading 20-17 in set number 3. Jonathan Kerman here with you. Alongside me is Terry Ross, Khalil Campbell behind the lens here for this Lithia Superstore Game of the Week. Presented by Siskiyou Cellular, as both these teams, the St. Mary's Crusaders and the Lakeview Honkers, kick off their 2020-2021 volleyball season. So happy to be able to bring you live high school athletics once again. Ainsley Dunn sends it over and right into the net. Point awarded to St. Mary's.
Let's see if St. Mary's has got a close in them. Lakeview won't let them close, which to their credit, they managed so far every time that St. Mary's decided to make a run in any game. Lakeview's ended that run. Had a little one of their own.
Yeah, it feels like if St. Mary's can put together just another couple of points, the margin for error might be too slim, and
that might be it.
Capitalizing on that easy lob was Kelsey Dunn to strike it home. 22-18 now on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Lakeview to set it up. Sanchez, her block gets through.
I'd say Lakeview's not going to go away easily. They're playing good defense.
Jayla Jackson in for the Honkers. Replacing Brianna Struble. Back to serve. The other Struble sister, Ashley Struble. Point awarded to St. Mary's. May have been a net violation. Back for the Crusaders, Caitlin Hansen. But first, a substitution. Noelle Thickett is going to come in to take possession of the serve. A lot of confidence being shown in Noelle Thickett by head coach Katie Miller of the Crusaders. And the move pays off. Now match point for St. Mary's.
See if they get it done on this one.
Thickett sends it over. Long strike, terrific diving stop, and somehow the Crusaders able to save it. Another opportunity for the Honkers. The strong strike, the return. Honkers save it. Hot action here. The final few minutes, and double touch called against St. Mary's. I have a feeling I know what drill they're going to be running in practice this week.
Yeah.
Still match point for the Crusaders. At the high school volleyball level, you accrue points on even if it is not your serve. So for the Lakeview Honkers, going to have to play perfect volleyball from here on out. Schellenberger sends it over. It's up. St. Mary's didn't see it. Schellenberger again. Opportunity for St. Mary's. No, just an easy set over. Now here can Lakeview respond. They just gently send it over. Both teams playing so conservatively. There's Dunn for the win. Kelsey Dunn gets it done for St. Mary's, and that is your final. St. Mary's defeats Lakeview in straight sets by a final score of 3-0. Well, some fantastic action, a great way to kick off the volleyball season for St. Mary's. For the Lakeview Honkers, a lot of really positive things to build on. Some really, really fantastic plays, especially on defense for the Honkers. And As we talked about, Terry, such a young team, just one upper freshman, one senior, Sam Sanchez, leading a bunch of underclassmen, and they played like upperclassmen tonight. A really bright future for the Honkers.
They do. They have a bright future. You said they played really good defense, and they had St. Mary's going there for a while, but a lot of times in the learning process, as the coaches tell you, you have to learn how to keep it going once you get it going, and they will. They will. Don't if you're from Lakeview, don't give up on the Honkers just yet. St. Mary's had a good outing, too, though, to open it up. I mean, it's always nice to get the first win.
Absolutely.
It's nice to get the first win on the first game.
Exactly.
But,
exactly.
But you're right. They're even very young, really. St. Mary's is quite young. But so a bright future for both of these clubs is it really was a marvelous game. It wasn't like you said. It wasn't one of those 1, 2, 3, and then point. 1, 2, 3 point. We had some really good rallies.
Really good rallies, and you see the set scores on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Close matches. All three of them were quite close. So a lot of positive things to build on. Some great effort displayed by both teams, and so happy to be able to bring it to you here on TableRockSports.net, watching it live in HD for free. Thanks to our sponsors, including the Medford School District and food service provider Sodexo, are partnering to provide free student meals at school, at home, and even preschoolers are eligible. Visit medford.k-12.or.us/meals to learn more. Once again, the final score on the John L. Scott scoreboard, St. Mary's defeats Lakeview in straight sets 3-0. For Khalil Campbell and Terry Ross, I'm Jonathan Kerman saying so long from St. Mary's High School. We'll catch you next time on Table Rock Sports.